This is the Serengeti, as most of us know it. A place of plenty. Lush grasses. Huge herds. Lots of prey. A perfect place for a predator. But on the park's eastern edge lies a rougher world. Here, prey is scarce. Water, even scarcer. Yet somehow, a lion pride has found a way to make a living in this desolate place. They're called the Vumbi, Swahili for dust. Nick and Nathan arrive in the dry season, when conditions are at their worst. No water, no green grass, no prey in sight.
Vumbi pride had 5 females, and when we first arrived, 9 cubs. And they were eking out an existence in this barren, dry, dusty landscape. The cubs were pathetic. They were desperate. They were covered with mange. You could see their bones. They were fighting over any little bit of milk that they could nurse.
With little prey in this part of the Serengeti, the pride must take advantage of every opportunity. Nick and Nathan see nothing. The landscape looks unbroken. It's a warthog. Darkness falls. Eventually, her persistence pays off. In the dry season, storms can roll in quickly, but they don't last long. The rain is a lucky but temporary reprieve. And greater challenges still lie ahead for the Vumbi. It's survival of the fittest. But only 1 death during the dry season is actually a remarkable feat. Across Africa, more than half of all lion cubs die before the age of 2. The Vumbi are defying the odds, but their success is a double-edged sword. the more hungry cubs that survive, the more pressure on the females to keep them all fed. If this male has no affiliation with the pride, he'll try to kill the cubs, to eliminate the offspring of rival males, and to bring their mothers back into heat. But the females will fight the males off if they can. Luckily, this turns out to be Seaboy, the massive male who fathered several of the Vumbi cubs. But that still doesn't mean he's in for a warm welcome. As the day wears on, the females seem to grow more comfortable with Seaboy, and even the cubs start approaching him. It's a powerful reminder of how viciously the females will protect their cubs. But they don't go so far as to drive Seaboy off completely, because there are other, less familiar males in the area, and the pride might soon need Seaboy's protection. With the arrival of Seaboy, the Vumbi have some much-needed protection from other male lions. The females are still vigilant, making sure he doesn't get too rough with the cubs. But they'll put up with his temper, because he's a powerful male with a track record of survival.
August 2009.
Okay, 17th of August 2009.
The researchers told us that Seaboy had actually been kicked out of his previous territory by this marauding group of powerful males that go by the name the Killers. One of the researchers named Ingela was out there and had seen Seaboy being torn apart by the Killers and managed to make some incredible photographs of that fight.
When I sort of back away from that to know, oh Christ, this is in the middle of a great battle here, 3 against 1. Then they come for him. And I'm there, you know, with my lens, I can't adjust it too much, so I'm having it on the widest that I can.
Oh, they're right next to your car.
They're right, yeah, it's like between here and my car here.
Oh my God.
Must have been so loud.
I was sure they were killing him.
It was 3 against 1, but incredibly, Seaboy survived the attack, escaped to a new territory, and took over the Vumbi pride. Seaboy brings a level of security that few other males could supply. But on his own, even he will have difficulty preventing a takeover by rival males. The most likely suspects? Seaboy's old enemies. The Killers are back on the prowl. And now, there are 4 of them to be reckoned with. The Killers are just such a coalition. But Nick and Nathan have only seen Seaboy alone, or with the pride. this is a rogue male, or maybe even one of the killers. But ultimately, it's neither. Turns out, Seaboy has a coalition partner too. The researchers have named him Hildur. Like Seaboy, Hildur fathered several Vumbi cubs and will fight for their survival. It's the price the pride must pay for protection. They now have two strong, loyal males to fend off attacks. But with them come two very large stomachs that demand to be fed. With 5 females, 8 fast-growing cubs, and 2 males, the pride needs a lot of fresh meat. Every kill can mean the difference between life and death. So it's crucial not to disturb the lions or take away their advantage. Days between hunts are slow. But just over the horizon, the killers are gearing up for a raid. The males that kicked Seaboy out of his last pride are looking for another one to take over. They're known for killing cubs. Rival males, and even adult females that stand in their way. There is no guarantee that Seaboy and Hildur will be able to defend the pride from their onslaught, even if the females join in the defense. With their cubs almost ready to go off on their own, the Vumbi pride is about to face the ultimate challenge to their survival. It's the middle of the night, and the killers are on the move. The team is tracking them into Vumbi territory and bracing for a showdown. But long before any contact is made, the lions square off with their roars. Researchers have recorded the roars and played them back to the lions to see how they react. With the killers, the numbers are a little more even. 4 of them versus Seaboy, Hildur, and 5 females. As the killers approach, a lone female crosses their path. The killers are distracted. One heads off after the female. And the others suddenly seem less focused. By morning, the killers have gone right through the Vumbi's territory and into the next. Perhaps the female threw them off their game. Or perhaps they decided a place with such scrubby ground and a lack of big herds wasn't worth fighting for. For now, the threat to the Vumbi has passed, and life is about to get a whole lot better.
Rain meant sunshine in the lion's life. They're really on the edge, and the rains came, and then the prey picks up, and its life is all of a sudden pretty easy.
For the Vumbi, it's the season of plenty. More water than they can drink. Wildebeest by the thousands. The cubs have survived their first dangerous dry seasons and are just about ready to strike out on their own. They're a far cry from where they were when the expedition began. The Vumbi have succeeded in raising their cubs, from infancy to near adulthood. A process the photographers have managed to cover from just about every angle.
And I believe in history. I really believe the whole point of doing what I do is that you record it and you lock it down and you save it, and it represents that moment in the world. And it may have some effect.